Welcome to another EAL Grad Spotlight.
Hey, welcome everyone. My name is Tracy Evans. I'm the owner of Dreamwinds Equine Assisted Learning Center in Bradford, Ontario, and I'm excited to have you here for another graduate spotlight. Today we are talking to Laurel Griffen from Spirit Winds Ranch. So welcome, Laurel. It's so wonderful to have you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So tell me a little bit about your business. Whereabouts are you located and who do you serve in your community?
I'm located 20 kilometers west of Calgary in Cochrane, and I serve the local community of Cochrane in any way that they need me, in any way that, yes, works for families.
Oh, that's excellent. And so what brought you to equine assisted learning? How did you get into this wonderful
So, yeah, it's amazing. I just keep pinching myself. Um, 6 years ago, I had my farm and I was, ending a show career. And, as I'm getting older, it's what do I do with my life and my horses now? And, I kind of come to a bit of a stalemate. And then 6 kids committed suicide in the local community. Yes, I could not believe what yeah. And so they graduated from, or like I graduated from Cochrane High School. These were kids from my high school that had committed suicide in a wave. And I had no idea what any of this is about, but I just was so heartbroken and wondering what I could do. And, it just was, it yeah, there aren't words to explain. The,
Mhm.
yes, the devastation. 2 LGBTQ stepped in front of a train.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so hard. Hard for the your families, community, everybody. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And so I wanted to figure out how I could change the trajectory of my farm and my life and the life of my horses, and what I could do that would be of meaning to help find a way to help or support these kids that were struggling. And I looked at courses that were available and, thought long and hard. There was lots on the internet and you can't find anything that looks like quality. And I could take a weekend course, hang a shingle out, get 2 salvaged horses and, throw my hat in the ring. But, for as damaged as these kids were, that didn't feel like the responsible thing to do.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so as I was working on my property and walking around the land, I started a mantra. And my mantra became, how do I connect horses and people on the ground? And steps I would take thinking and feeling that. And I taught riding for 30 years and that didn't feel like the right fit because these kids are in trouble.
Hmm.
It takes a bit of acumen to be able to ride a horse, control a horse, turn a horse, stop a horse. And that just didn't feel like the right fit. And I was at a Shoppers Drug Mart in Calgary, for God's sake, and lo and behold, Horse Canada magazine, Jennifer Brown had done an article on horses as healers. I think, oh, there it is, horses as healers.
Awesome. Horses as healers. Yeah.
And so I was in disbelief. I thought, oh, somebody, done my homework, and she had. And the deeper I got into her article, it was like, this is it. She has found the best 2 courses in Canada, and followed by the Laurentian University, the University of Saskatoon, and the University of Calgary for over 10 years, and the quality of their courses and what it meant to the people who were taking them. And so the Equine Assisted Learning course was offered at Saskatchewan, Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, and I contacted Gail and Janice, and um, it was the right fit and right timing, and I was just so excited to go and learn something new.
That's amazing.
After you've been in the horse world for a while, you think you've been there, done that, and have the badge, and all that, and tips, and yeah, I really, I'm grateful for all that background in the horse industry and such, but this just opened so many new doors, and I was so grateful to found quality people like Gail and Janice, and the heart and soul that they put into the program. Equine assisted learning was just so far above and beyond what I expected. I was just delighted,
Amazing.
and oh, it was just so amazing and so doable. Like I was I was in awe of them and the program, and being able to spend time with such a good group of people to learn with, and then such a good set of instructors that really took what they were doing to heart, because they were helping their community of Prince Albert, which is what I wanted to do for my community. And so, yeah, I took the course and started practicing on anybody who would come out. It's, I got a lot of different groups out, and we just went to town with volunteers, and I had a bunch of horses that were, I was holding my breath, but like we were talking, Tracy, about the natural horsemanship, and they're looking for leadership, and being responsible for taking that role. And I had several horses at the time, and had done about 6 months worth of work with them, and natural horsemanship, but no EAL. They hadn't seen an EAL course. Yeah, and so I have people who don't know anything about horses who are working with my horses who don't know anything about EAL. But they had good manners.
Yeah, that's the key.
That's the key. And so they waited patiently for my non-horse knowing people to, how they were connected, grounded, polite.
Nice.
I was so pleased with them. I was holding my breath for about the first 10 minutes because I wasn't sure of an arena full of people and a bunch of horses that I knew of. And it all went well. And I'm so grateful to my herd team of horses and my team of volunteers. And we just went forward from there. And 2 months after, I took the equine assisted learning course from Cartier Farms. My county, or MD of Rockyview, put out a service provider call for equine assisted learning practitioners.
Amazing.
It was just like serendipity was like, I was so amazed at how all this happened. And I threw my hat in the ring. There was probably 40 different people who wanted this contract, and they were only handing out 4. And yeah, it was quite a pool of competition.
What a great story, though. It's just amazing. And I'm a big believer that once you start taking action, the universe will deliver and set your path for you. Like this, just help you along the way. And it's just, that's a great example of you jumped in, you took the training, and then when you got back and an opportunity came up, you were ready to jump on it. And that's just amazing. I don't think there's any coincidences.
I agree totally. And I'm a redneck. Like, I don't believe it. And so, yes, the universe laid a crumb trail,
Yeah.
and the way it went, and it has an energy of its own. And I've learned a lot about flow in life since all of this started. And it's just been an amazing journey. And I'm so grateful to Gail and Janice for the quality of the course that they put together, and what it's meant to my community. And the schools that I'm contracted to. I have, of the service providers, I'm the only non-psychologist to get a contract.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I was very fortunate that the group of 12 were making decisions about who was getting the contracting. I was the first farm, so that helped enormously.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I had my horses. Go ahead.
What do you love most about working in EAL?
Wow. So one of the kids that came with the group from the school, and these are kids that the schools don't know what to do with anymore. They're at the back of the classroom. They're bullied, anxious, depressed, on the spectrum. They're beat down. Life's beat them down. Families beat them down. School systems beat them down. They come in dragging themselves hoodies over their head, and disconnected from life. And we get them into the bleachers, just like what Janice and Gail have, and give them a pre-briefing about what's going on. And I'd had this group from an elementary school a couple of times, and this was their third go around, and we were doing the EAL module, Common Sense.
Yeah.
And I'd had this little guy, and he was all dressed in cowboy gear. He had the neck drag like I've got, and the Western shirt, and he's got the leather gloves and the Wrangler jeans and the boots, and he's just the cutest little guy. And he's out there, and he's taking the horse, and he's got his partner, and off he goes into the challenges. And I'm looking at this little guy. He's one of the better kids I've got. He's into this. And the teacher come over after we were on the roll for about 5 minutes, and she's standing beside me looking at this young man, and she's got tears rolling down her face. And she says to me, I have never seen him so engaged. And she says to me, his dad committed suicide 2 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And he wears cowboy gear in memory of his dad. And the kids are mercilessly picking on him at school. And she said, all he does at school is cry. He hasn't engaged in anything for months and months. And so he was a happy kid. And I'm thinking, holy cow, you know, I had no idea of the impact that we were having.
Right.
Yeah. And so the principal came out to see what we were doing and why this young fellow was, you know, gaining traction in his life and doing so much better at school, and, you know, what that looked like here, because me not being a psychologist, what the heck was happening?
Right.
You know, they thought they were sending those kids out to a babysitting service. They were getting them out of the school for a couple of hours, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're sending them back with horse homework, you know, and it was just amazing. So that touched my heart and soul. I had no idea how much food would come back for my soul and my volunteer souls, and really the souls of the horses, because they get such a kick out of what these kids are doing. And,
Oh yeah.
you know, we give the horses an attaboy, which means have your heart in the palm of your hand, and at the completion of each of the challenges, your horse gets an attaboy or an attagirl, 1 stroke on the neck.
Yeah.
The horse's paycheck.
But
Yeah, I just can't get over. And then we got letters from teachers and principals and parents as to, you know, what the meaning was for their kids
oh,
coming to, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. And it's always incredible to me to see how the horses can reach them when no one else can. You know, I've had similar experiences, and it's remarkable. It's so fulfilling. Absolutely. So what's on the docket for 2021? I know 2020 was a weird year for us all. 2021 is starting out a bit weird. But I think we have a light at the end of the tunnel. So will you be working back with the schools again this year? You have other things on the plans as well, or?
Well, the schools are still not sure what's going to happen. And so because they're doing remote learning and in-class learning, and looks like that's going to be the case until the end of this school year,
Right.
they're not committing to anything unless there's a complete, you know, turnaround. And so with that in mind, I had very little else on the go. It's like, now what else can I do for my community? And so, yeah, I gave for Christmas 30 gift certificates into the community. Yes. How can I be of service? What do you need from me out here on the farm? What's meaningful for the people that are in your group? And yeah, and how can I be a complement to what you're doing for your clients, or for the so the New Immigrant Society got 6 gifts, and these are family gift certificates. They're not just for one person. So yeah, so I did it for a mental health reason too, because I don't want to be, you know, February, March, not have anything to do out here when it's quiet and cold, and there is heat in the arena and heat over the bleachers, so I can do some entertaining. And we would have the families come in cohorts. So there
Right.
were only one. Yeah. So the community was really excited, because none of the other farm ranches around have done anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
You know, a little bit of a pat on the back, but I'm looking for something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, and you know the philosophy on givers gain, and that will come back to you 1,000-fold when you help those families from your heart. So, and hopefully, as we see things, I think Ontario's in way worse shape than you guys. So,
Yeah.
when I think about kind of our year, we're looking at things ramping up, you know, late spring and then into summer. Hopefully, we can all do our camps again, and then in the fall, hopefully some more normalized programming. We were running our date nights and family sessions as well last year, so I wish that for you as well. The things will come together, but there's always, like you say, there's always opportunity. There's always opportunity out of difficulty, and this is a great opportunity for you to, you know, still be giving to your community and changing lives. That's amazing.
Yes, and staying busy.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
keep the horses moving. And yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
and
it's good for everybody.
out of that, Travel Alberta, and I'm sure there's travel industry
Mhm.
partners in every province, um, they were quite interested in what we were doing. And because it's a non-riding connection with a horse,
Right.
it's an alternative to the dude ranches and
Yeah.
things that are normally looked at. And so I'm only small groups, small, I'm
Mhm.
not a huge industrial business. They're looking at wanting to partner for that reason. So because you need small cohort groups, so that's another avenue that we're looking at. And I hope what you're saying is true, Tracy. And by the fall, we'll be back working with the schools and other things that are help pay the bills.
Yeah. We had schools interested last fall. So, I mean, once they're back in the classroom, they're
Yeah.
safer on your farm.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I think common sense will prevail and it'll
Yeah.
get rolling again. And I think there's going to be more mental health challenges going forward as all of this COVID starts to settle and gets in our rearview mirror. Mental health is going to become a lot more prevalent issues that need to be talked about and looked at. And I think it's a lot safer place now in this
Yeah.
day and time for mental health to be part of our conversations. And so yeah, I think we'll be needed as equine practitioners going forward a lot more than.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you're right. I think the demand is just going to peak when people have been separated for too long as well. I mean, I do corporate team building, and I know my corporate teams are chomping at the bit to get back here, no pun intended, and looking for different ways that they can be here, even if they can't get here, right? So that's been a kind of an impetus for me looking at the virtual side of things. So it's
Cool.
it's going to be more and more important because people are going to forget how to connect. Those interpersonal skills and life skills we teach are going to be exactly what people need as they come back together into their communities, into their schools, into their workplace. We have to remember how to interrelate with people after all this isolation. So I'm looking forward to being part of the solution to that as well.
Yes, and thank you for being such a great leader for us in equine assisted learning and the alumni in that, and and being so forward moving, and it's appreciated. It gives certainly me a great deal of hope, and it also some. Oh, you're welcome. This is a lot of hard work for you. This isn't easy. This is time out of your day.
This is my passion. So I'm not I'm not successful unless you're all successful. So this is just building us all. All boats rise with the tide. So this is the fun part of my job. If everything's fun, but this is the really fun part of my job. So I'm
Love.
thrilled to have spent the time with you today. Thank you so much, and I'm excited to share your story with everyone because you're doing wonderful work out there, and look forward to you continuing that wonderful work. So
Thank
thank
you.
you very, very much.
You're most welcome. Thank you for hosting me.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Thank
For more information about Spirit Winds Ranch and their wonderful programs, contact Laurel at spiritwindsranch.ca. If you're interested in a career in equine assisted learning and would love to help others through horses, please check out dreamwinds.ca or cartierfarms.ca for our EAL certification programs and begin your dream career today.